as I was doing my research, it looked like in this moment where Elon was pulling his funding out of OpenAI, it looked like you were one of the people that helped kind of prop it up for a while when it was very
that's right. Nonprofit. Back when it was still a nonprofit. I know Greg actually from the Stellar days.
Greg Brogman.
Yeah. So he helped with like the Stellar launch and things like that. So we've been friends since then. I thought originally when he told me like, hey, I'm considering doing this OpenAI thing, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was like very jealous because I wanted to go work on it with him, but I was still at Stellar. So so when they were kind of like trying to figure out how to fund the thing, because it became clear that they needed like a lot more money than they originally had. I had some that I was able to donate to them. Yeah.
Do you have thoughts then on Elon's version of history and during this period?
I understand both sides of it. I see where they're both coming from. Like it is a little weird and like, but I think that they were transparent about what was happening. I mean, I don't know that they had much of a choice. So, it is this very capital intensive thing. So
so you're talking about the weirdness, I think is shifting from this kind of open nonprofit to a more of like a money making enterprise. And then, but then they're, sometimes I think Elon oversells how much money he had put in to OpenAI because clearly it did not have enough money to make this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it turned out that it needed billions, right? So like that, I don't think he's ever claimed to do that much, but yeah, I think probably it was the original sin was like setting it up as a nonprofit in the first place, probably. But at that time, who knew the direction would be, right? So, like obviously all the companies since, and like even like Anthropic, which purports to be like the most like safety focused one, they're still a for-profit company, right?
Yeah.
So, I just think I think nonprofits are not a great structure for if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Basically, don't set up as a nonprofit.
Yeah. So I've been working on this OpenAI book for a while. I mean, what do you have thoughts on? There is like a bit of, I don't know if it's like a cult of personality, but like each one of the major AI players has kind of like a point of view, and they have a pretty powerful person at their helm. They all seem to kind of think it would be better if they're the ones who get to super intelligence first. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious as to how you think this all plays out, or if this is a good model. Sort of like you talk about with Anthropic. I mean, I do think they have at some level like quite good intentions, but then the reality of the situation is like, well, you've got to take money from Google and Amazon. You're like everybody else.
Right. I mean, the reality is they all have good intentions, right? I mean, nobody wants the world to get destroyed by robots or whatever. Like, so like everybody has the same goal, but they don't trust each other. So, you know what I mean? Like if I talk to Anthropic people, they're like, oh, the OpenAI people, they're just going to like destroy the world. And if you talk to the OpenAI people, they'll say the same thing, right? So it's kind of funny, like basically like they're like, well, I can't trust anyone else to do this but myself, kind of thing, which in some sense makes sense because you kind of know your own motivations and know what you're going to do. And this is like potentially super powerful technology. So I definitely understand the urge of wanting to be the one that's like putting it out into the world, right?
Yeah.
Not leaving that to other folks, right? So
I find this whole situation comical. I think from the outside, especially people not in the tech industry, there's this general like hatred of the tech industry now in Silicon Valley, and it's like, I
can't know if that's true or just media created.
I think it's true on some level. I don't know how deep it runs. I think it's like the biggest industry, so it takes the place of finance or energy or something. It's like that's where people are going to put their attention, and and we don't. I think there's some people who love it, and then there's some people definitely I think in the mainstream it's kind of like are these people like are they really out for our best interest or not? I think it's wrong on a pretty fundamental level that people are like, oh, Elon's evil, Sam's evil, whatever, and then we're actually in a spot where we could be in a world where the person making this technology like didn't care at all about what happens. Yeah. We happen to be in a spot where like kind of the 5 biggest players actually, in my opinion, do think deeply about this stuff.
Yeah, I think they do. I think it's a mistake to think that they don't. I think they all definitely care. So,
and then the question is like then I guess how does it play out? I do, and then I mean I think you summed it up really it is funny to me that they all kind of like hang out together, or at least did for a while, and then but still like don't trust
Right.
each other in the
Yeah.
middle of all this. Do you regret now not shifting over to work at OpenAI?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't really possible at the time. I mean, I still was like very committed to Stellar, so I don't know how it could have happened. I mean,
What
you
was
know,
in Stellar? Remind me.
so Stellar is the thing that I started after Ripple. So
Okay,
so
okay.
it's kind of another cryptocurrency that I think works much better. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So you were deeply involved in that
yeah.
and had no choice. Okay. Okay. And then okay. And when you and we're getting to space, but when you talked about a couple things that I'm so fascinated by. I mean, so you kind of want to help humanity end up in a good place. I think I think I'm pretty convinced on this. You feel that humans are going to have trouble keeping up with this next era.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to see a world where we are kind of fused with, I mean, if you look at something like science, I mean, you would be trying to like increase the horsepower of the
Right.
human mind. I mean, that's kind of where you want things to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the only option, kind of regardless of whether I want that to happen or not. I mean, I think that's, yeah, I mean, these machines are going to get increasingly more capable and smarter and things like that. And I just don't see a world where we're not ceding more and more control to them, where they just kind of become kind of integrated with our society, and like, you know, big companies are relying them more and more to make decisions, and governments even, and things like that. And so at some point, humans are just don't even kind of understand what's going on, right? They're just like, okay, all this weird stuff is happening, and we're not sure why. I've got this order to go do this. I'm fine, I'll do this, and it's just, yeah, I think the only way we can kind of keep up, I think, is kind of augment our brains with machines. So, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but that just seems like where we're headed.